give them something to talk about. I see the energy running out. I got a planet to run around. Okay.
What was that? That was.
I'm rusty here. Hold on. I didn't have the right window up. This is what happens when we take a month off.
And the sound was like you just like went from all to none. Like, so there wasn't this nice gradual rolling.
Yeah, I fucked that up big time.
All right, so we're back after 3 weeks off. Sorry about that, folks. Sickness kind of rolled around through this crew right here. We had contacted Derek to get him on, and he was all excited. And then I got sick, and there was no way we were going to go into this small room, studio room that we're all in. Well, it looks like we're in different locations. We're all in the same room, and we're not that far apart away from each other. This room is jokingly referred to as the COVID room because COVID was spread.
It was like the ground zero. It was 2021.
We made it a full year without getting anything in here, and then it crept its way in.
It happened.
Yeah. So welcome, Derek. Thanks for being a part of it. It's good. I'm looking forward to talking to you and hearing your story and what we're doing. Do we want to go this style or do we want to go this style? So yeah, move over a little bit. Yeah, there you go. It's kind of the opposite. So we can do this style too, which kind of works too. There you go.
Right.
And so we got a few things to talk about today, but first of all, I just wanted to give a intramural open update because we did our draft last night at Diablo. So if you're doing an intramural open, one of the fun things to do, well, first of all, is assign team captains. So whether you have two teams, if you've got a gym of, you get 20 athletes to, I think 20 to 50 athletes in that range, I would have two teams.
Yeah.
Because you want lots of scoring opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, you got to be careful if the teams get too small because then one team can easily dominate, and then that's where you might want to go with nuts instead.
So then you end up with like a purple team.
Yeah. And then, what you could do is you could award points, the same kind of points you could do for intramural open, which I'll talk about. You could do that as a, on a theme night, and then just give points to people, not only for the performance, but for judging and for other things. But I'll talk about that. So we did our draft last night, and how we did our draft, we call the snake style draft. So we had people, the three teams pick a number. The closest to the number went first. The second closest to the number went second, and third. And then what you do is you start. Team one does their top pick of the draft. Then team two goes. Then team three goes, and then team three goes again. So it's snake. So you go out and back and forth.
Yeah.
Which is cool. It actually goes pretty quick till we get to like deep into it, and then it's kind of people are really till you get deep into it, and the reason why it slows down is that once people's names get taken off the list, it screws up your list because you're looking at going, oh well, I was going to choose that person, but they're already on someone else's team. So,
sounds like fun.
Echo's better.
Need to take some notes.
All right. You got all the sound right, Jamie?
Yeah. Well, once we had to reset that computer,
okay,
we didn't return off that mute, so it's off.
Okay. Anyway, so we did a snake style draft, and which went really really quick until you get deep into it.
Yeah.
And then we allowed the teams. Then Diablo's gonna do too. We're going to have three other events that teams can score on. And I took this idea from CrossFit Roots. And if you go to CrossFit Roots' Instagram page and you click on their link on their bio, you can get access to their format. And it's very detailed. Theirs is very detailed. They get all the communications for the team captains, all the communications for their members. They tell you how to do it, the whole 9 yards. Really good. And so we're doing the same. One of the things that they recommended, which is have your teams have another scoring opportunity outside of the open. So we're going to have 3 events that are separate from the open that the teams can score on, but it's still a competition. So the first one I chose is a social media post. So
Brilliant, by the
way. So each team has to come up with a social media post, 1 minute or less, promoting the open. And they can do it however they want. I don't care. You can hire someone, you can do whatever you want. And it's the easiest way to judge it. So I'm gonna post their their video on Diablo's Instagram page, and then we'll measure it by the number of likes each team gets. And so then the top team will get 10 points in this case. And so I gave them the dates of their that they're going to post. So that should be interesting.
I'll say you didn't spread those out at all, did you?
No, I didn't, because I wanted them all to happen the week. I wanted the week to happen like before the open.
Okay.
So I give them 2 days each, but it's going to be really interesting to see how it works.
Are you going to post it kind of all around the same time, so there's some consistency? Like, not going to post one of them like in the middle of the night, or?
No, I'll post them. I'll try to post them all at the same time.
Okay.
I'm running social media, so it could be anything.
Are you making rules like everybody has to be a part of the video, or it just has to be whoever wants to?
That's exactly what my wife asked this morning. And I was like, that might be really tough in a 1 minute video. So
yeah,
no, they can concoct, they can come up with, they can use dogs for their video. I don't care. Like, but they got to come up with something for their team, and it's all going to be measured on likes. And I would, by the way, that's a hint. I would use dogs. Dogs get likes.
Good to know. That's a good question. That's a good point.
So we'll look forward to those. Those are going to post on I have it posted on the 20th of this month.
27th?
No, 22nd.
Okay.
The 22nd. And then, or I'm sorry, the 20th, the 23rd, and the 26th.
Okay.
So a Thursday, no, I'm sorry, a Tuesday, Thursday, and a Monday. Yeah. So Tuesday, Friday, Monday, I think it is. Tuesday, Friday, Monday. But anyway, spreading them out at 3 days so that they get a chance to get some likes before.
Create some traction.
Yeah.
Maybe you should put them all out at this. I was gonna say maybe at the same time, because you might get more momentum. Like the first post might get more.
The problem with that is that one stacks on top of the other.
That's okay.
And it pushes it out.
Okay.
Right. So I want to give them at least like 2 days of airtime on social media for them to get it liked. Because what you don't want to do is tell your team, hey, okay, everybody on our team, make sure you go and like our post. And then they go to like it and they accidentally like the wrong one.
The wrong one, yeah.
Because it's been stacked differently.
Well, what if you did it in a story format? Because then it's like a full 24 hours and then it's gone.
Oh, Christ.
Because then you're not picking up like people liking the first post because it's been there longer.
Okay. Did you not hear the part where I'm running the social media for Diablo? Did you miss that part?
Minor detail.
Minor detail. Stories and reels and shit. Like posts. That's all I know.
Got it.
Right, in less than a minute.
Noted.
Keep it simple, right?
So anyway, so the team, so the initial team. So we last night we drafted 150 athletes, and it was a ton of fun. And again, we thought, Derek, we thought about, this is from an affiliate owner that's been around 15 years, and you can learn from my mistakes. This whole episode will be a lesson in what not to do as an affiliate owner. One of them is don't broadcast your draft live. We literally have to I have to have everybody in the room sign an NDA. Whatever gets said about this room stays here. This room. In which it would actually be really good kind of from we decided, a lot of us said, it'd be really interesting to hear if other people did the draft, what they had to say about us as people and athletes. Right. Because then, it could be a learning experience for you.
Sure.
Yeah. So standards.
I will tell you that there are some people, and I know, I can already guess what people will say about me, but I think there's some people in the gym that don't know that they have nicknames, right?
Anybody that goes to my gym, you don't have a nickname.
Derek,
you're getting ahead of this one.
Derek's getting ahead of this.
I love you all the same.
Oh my God,
it's been early.
No, it was all in love and fun.
Yeah, sure.
But it was pretty hilarious. If you've got the thing is, if you have any idiosyncrasies with the way you train, the way you work out, those are the things that we talked about mostly, and literally it was all in fun. But you think you're in a, hey, this is well, and it is a safe place. This is going really bad. I did not want to get on this topic, but you started it. Yeah, but we all see each other so much.
Yeah.
Like this is family.
It's family. Yeah, it's like a
really
family.
is family.
Yeah.
We see each other so much that we know the little things that people do.
We're just honest,
right.
Honesty is the big thing. I'm like, if I can't be honest with you, I can't be your coach.
right?
I have to be honest with you and tell you how I look at you. And if I can't, then
There's something.
there's a problem.
Yeah,
You can't be sensitive to it.
Yeah.
Because if you think some way about me, then I would want you to tell me to.
Right.
So
Otherwise,
honesty
where's that
is
conversation
open.
happening? Behind a door?
Yeah,
Behind your
right.
back?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Everybody knows that if there's wall balls, rowing, or an assault bike, I'm gonna be there for the workout. They just know I'm gonna be there.
And wall walks show up.
That looks
Where'd Craig go?
Where'd Craig go? Or Turkish
Right.
get-ups.
Oh God.
We had Turkish get-ups yesterday. It was a light day in the gym.
It was very light. It was like I coached the opening classes, and it's like, this is the welcome to the most cherry-picked day of the month.
And it's with the although I will tell you, I talked to people about it. We laughed about it. It's like we all admitted it's something we all need to do, and we all avoid it.
Dude.
Yeah,
It was following a big day too, so
that's right. So anyway, so back to the open. So we picked like almost 50 athletes per team. We picked people that hadn't registered for the open. So you're now going to get hassled by your captain to register for the open. So we had 150 athletes we went through, and we're not done. My goal is that we get to 200 athletes for Diablo this year.
But we got through everybody that's registered. Correct?
Yes, we got through everybody that's registered. So if you're registered for the open, chances are you're on a team. I'll publish that later today so everybody can see where they are. So then the second thing, and do you have any idea what teen trials is happening this year? Are you kidding me?
We'll come back to that.
Yes, teen trials is happening. How's that? There you go. Go back to class. We're not good with comments either here in this podcast.
I already gave him a heads up.
And then so we've got 150 athletes drafted, and then we picked the 3 events. One event is the social media post. The second event, I hope to do this as tentative, is a bowling night. So we'll come together, or a bowling afternoon. We're going to try and do it on a Saturday afternoon, the second Saturday of the open.
Okay.
And then I think the third one is going to be a bake off where we do some sort of competition cooking thing, which should be fun. So that's that part of it. And then we're picking themes. So there's team colors too, by the way. And the 3 team colors. This is one of those things.
Black,
teal. This is where it was. How good is democracy really? Right? Because I let the captains. I go, you guys pick your own colors, and the colors they come up with. Black. Okay, fine. There was a black team last year. It didn't win, but you want to try this year. That's fine. All right. That's not super creative, but I get it. You want to wear black, and it's of course the 2 pregnant ladies who want to wear black for obvious reasons. Again, I'm getting in trouble. And the next team picks teal and red, which. And I said
terrible color scheme. I told her I said teal and yellow at least. We're gonna go teal colors.
Teal and red. What's that? Well, we saw it on a purse. That's what they said. We saw it on a purse. It looked cool. It was on a purse. That's the color we're going with. So whoever's on teal and red, good luck.
Thanks.
Have finding anything in your closet with those colors on.
Hey, it's better than indigo.
Yeah, we had indigo one year, and then the last team is pink. They pink, which is okay, but man, that's bros and pink.
Real men can wear pink.
This is going to be an interesting intramural open. So those are 3 colors.
Wait, is it any pink or is it a specific pink?
I don't know. I think it's just pink.
Again,
pink.
You
Pink
gotta
Panther.
you gotta talk to my wife because that's the first thing she asked.
Right.
She goes, "Is it fluorescent pink or is it flat pink?"
Is it salmon?
I don't know. Ask Rod who picked it. The guy who picked it.
Oh, you don't think Maddie had anything to do with that?
Well, maybe she might have. And then the last thing was we pick themes. We also do we make this as complicated as possible,
Right?
But it does make it fun. So there's a theme each week. And I would say if you're not doing intramural open affiliates, if you're small and you don't want to get into doing the intramural open and all the scoring that goes with it, at least do a theme night because those do make you. If you're doing a Friday Night Lights or a Saturday main event, pick a theme because that makes it a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And members do enjoy themes. Yeah. I don't personally, but members do, and then I play along, and at the end of it, I'm like, okay, that was fun. One of the themes that has been thrown out that I roll my eyes at because it drives me crazy is a Christmas theme.
I don't get that.
Yeah,
I can get on board with that.
It's
I like
freaking March.
Oh,
you can't get on board with that.
I like
Christmas.
Christmas.
Man.
Yeah, but that's once a year, and we are like we just talked about
Second
this.
favorite day of the year behind Halloween.
Oh,
Well, in some cases, you start preparing for it right after Halloween.
I'm not allowed to because my wife likes to hang up all the Thanksgiving stuff, so I
okay.
kind of have to wait.
Oh,
I wait till like
yeah.
halfway during November, and then we start throwing.
So does
Okay.
Yvonne. Yvonne hangs up all the Thanksgiving stuff, and then the next theme that we got is a neon/80s theme,
Okay,
That's a
which
good
we did
one.
last year, and
That's chill.
that is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then I don't have a third theme yet from the other team. They didn't pick one yet, so we'll have 3 themes as well.
it's gonna be a Pink Panther team.
And just real quick, I was going to get through this in 5 minutes. I've already taken like way too much time. So we're clearly not practiced at this. 2 weeks off and we suck. Just like Metcons. Take a couple weeks off of Metcons and all of a sudden your Metcons go to hell. How we score this is every week. What I'll do is I wait to the end of the open after the open closes. Then on Tuesdays, I block Tuesday out, and it probably takes me about 3 hours to get through the scoring and
Crunch all the numbers.
primarily because I don't delegate it. And I pull their scores. You can sort the scores you can pull your gym scores, which is cool. So you can pull your whole affiliate scores. I pull that and I put that on. I just transfer that to a Google spreadsheet. And then I clean up the data a little bit. And it's actually not hard to clean up the data. What's cool now, CrossFit allows you to download a CSV file.
So that was new of last year.
Yeah, that was new of last year. That's huge, right? So you can download a CSV file of your affiliate scores. And so you get all your athletes, all their scores. One of the really neat things in that is scaled scores and foundational scores are designated with an S or an F. So what that allows you to do is quickly sort by scaled, and you can separate your scaled and foundations from your regular athletes.
There you go.
People go, what about your masters athletes? Do you give points for them? We don't do that anymore. What we do is we just include the masters athletes scores in the top 10. And why that works is masters athlete over age 55 have a lighter weight and usually an easier gymnastic.
It's already scaled.
It's already scaled. And so what we'll find is in our top 10, so we have top 10 athletes, and we have some good athletes in here, but we'll get 3 or 4 masters that consistently score in the top 10 of the scoring because their workout has been scaled that allows them to put up really high rep counts or times.
Yeah.
So I take those 2 together, put masters and open together. Then I take my scaled athletes and foundations, put them together, and I give points 10-1. 10 if you're first place in the gym, you get 10 for men. You get 10. First place women get 10. Then all the way down to 10th place, that gets 1 point each.
Okay.
We also give points to every person that judges. Now, what's cool about the CSV file is that in the CSV file, it also says who your judge is.
Oh, got it.
And I actually write little formulas that automatically populates, right? So it just goes in, does a search of the fit, pulls a name, and puts a number next to him. So it'll go in and say Derek, and it'll search Derek, how many times you showed up. It'll say you showed up in that column 15 times. So I know you judged 15 times. That works out pretty cool. Really quick. Here's why I like that, by the way, scoring on why the intramural open is one of the best things the intramural open. Jamie will admit this too. One of the best things the intramural open is it incentivizes judging.
Yeah.
Because judging is a big pain in the ass.
It is.
And so you instantly now there's some of in the draft, when they're doing the draft, they're looking for people that can judge or that judge a lot.
They're valuable people.
Oh yeah.
The judge,
Very valuable.
Because here's why. They'll judge for your team first. And then second, they get points for doing it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a cool thing. And then the other thing we give them a point for attending Friday Night Lights and doing the workout there. And that's easy to do because I just pull it off my mind body list, who was there and who worked out.
Nice.
So all of that's pretty automated. And then I have someone independently tell me who they think the person was that has the most spirit in the open. And then we give them points for that. So we score up every week, and then we post that scoreboard as to how each team does, and it kind of gets them pumped up and motivated.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
We've
How
never
do you give points for the judges. So it's like the more you judge, the more points you get, or
yeah.
Good question. Because last year we did it 10 down to 1, and people were like, "Well, let's not do that this year. Let's do a point for every So if you
for every session you judge,
every session you judge.
Oh, I like that better.
Yeah.
Because some people got left out. Some people would judge 5
Yeah.
times and they didn't even make the top 10.
Yeah.
And so then, and that doesn't drive.
That's going to increase the scoring a lot too.
Yeah.
Just like judging, because like there's always judging going on, like whether it's the Friday Night Lights or not. It's like Thursday, as soon as the workout's been announced.
That's actually a good
all the way through Monday.
Very good point, Jamie. And I actually like that.
Yeah.
You want to create, if you're doing an intramural open as an affiliate owner, you want to create as many scoring opportunities as possible, because the more points there are, the tighter you're going to keep the race.
Yeah.
If you limit point or scoring opportunities, it's possible to have one team that just dominates right from the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that kind of takes the wind out of the sails for your intramural open.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so that's where we are, is on our intramural open. Whew, that was a lot. If you want any information, if you go on the CrossFit affiliate page or your affiliate toolkit, in there, the CrossFit Roots, there's a link to the CrossFit Roots plan as well. And I think it might even be free for affiliate owners on the.
Oh, it's in the affiliate toolkit.
Yes,
okay.
yes. It's CrossFit Roots is.
Got it.
It's CrossFit Roots is
playbook
in the affiliate.
Okay.
Toolkit. I saw it yesterday. By the way, every affiliate owner should go into that toolkit and fuck around in there for an hour or two.
Dude,
even
I
as
got
a coach.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I didn't realize they gave you all the
So
benefits
deep.
with the affiliate package.
Isn't that crazy?
Me and my wife started going through it. Like I came home, she's like, "You know, we can have this." I'm like, "It's too much information." Like,
oh, I love that. It's so true, though. Oh, that makes me happy to hear that. But it is like I went. It took me I didn't go through it till literally early this year. Really dig into it after Zia.
I was gonna say, was it after our podcast with Zia when we talked about it?
Zia called me out,
and I went through it too. Like, because I'm attached to the affiliate.
Yeah,
we have, as a coach, you also have access to get into some of that stuff, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's super impressive, the volume of stuff, and it's essentially you got to draw yourself into it.
yeah.
Derek's a new affiliate owner. You just got certified like a month ago, right?
Yeah, level 2. So I was a level 1 since 2021, and then I just got level 2 last weekend.
Nice.
Cool course. Did you cry?
You've been teaching and coaching prior to that, though, right?
Yeah, I've been coaching for 11 years. I've been all over the place.
Did anybody at your level 2 cry?
No.
Yeah.
There was one guy, I think towards the end, we had the workout the last day. I think he fell asleep in his car, or he had car problems at lunch because he didn't show back up, and he showed back up like the last 30 minutes right when we started the workout.
Oh, no.
And they were talking. I don't know what they were saying to him, but they let him work out, and then they talked to him afterwards. I'm like, dude, you just went through a whole almost 2 days and made it back late.
Oh man,
I was like, dude, that's
CrossFit's really harsh with that. That's the way they run those things.
I mean, standards.
I understand though. You got to be.
Yeah.
It was a good time, man. I learned a lot. You kind of
they put you on the stage, huh?
Dude,
Yeah.
I was like sweating the whole time.
Yes.
It's like you're out of your element. And it's
Yeah.
like all the eyes are on you, and like you have your coaching style and you know what you're talking about, but like having it's like doing a presentation, man. Like in high school, like everybody's critiquing you, and they're like, just hey, drop your ego, just go with it, and then you get done, and they just have this whole sheet of notes, like, okay. Like,
You had this many tactile cues, this many verbal cues.
Like, my problem is I talk too much.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I told Wes right from day one, I talk too much. So he's like, all right, we're gonna say less better.
Yeah.
I said, damn, just changed my whole life.
That was the same. If they told me, it was like, you
that.
have too much professional talk. You need to stop trainer talk. Like, just bring it down.
I'm like, I come up first. I'm like, so how's your day going? He's like, shut up. Just fix your feet.
Oh, they're so good.
Dude,
Get to the point. It's good.
Wes
it's
did my
great.
level
Wes,
1 and my level 2. Man, I love Wes, man.
Wes,
Shout out
Wes
Pyatt.
and Zach.
Zach's a good dude too, man.
Zach was at my level 1, my level 2.
Yeah. They're all really good, and they've been doing it so long.
Yeah.
And they don't relax their standards.
Never.
That's
Which is
what I really
great.
like too. Like it's still just as hard
Consistent.
and very consistent. Super cool.
It's like having Wes run us through a workout. I was like, I feel like the worst coach in the world, man. It was like put us through the warm up, and then I was like, the gym was shaped like a horseshoe. So like he was around one corner, and the other corner I was in the middle, and like I felt like he was always behind me.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, like where are you at?
You can't let off anywhere.
I do a wall ball and he's like, sit back on your heels there. I'm like, oh. He's like all the way across the room. I'm like, dude. Yeah, it's good though. It humbles you, man. It keeps you on your feet. Like you understand, like taking it from a perspective of a coach who's got so much more skin in the game, man. It's like, damn, all right. Like I want to be like you one day. Like, he's like, I didn't start like this, man. He's like, I've been doing this for 15 plus years and all right, I'll get there.
Yeah.
I'll take my time. Yeah.
Just soak it in. Yeah.
Dude.
It's probably one of the most important certs for somebody that's actually actively coaching in CrossFit. I mean, the level 1's just scratching the surface, touching on the methodology, and then level 2 just expands into how do you deliver that methodology to the rest of the communities.
I didn't know what to expect, man. I was blown away. I was like, wow.
Yeah, same thing. And then we put all of our coaches through it. Cole's going to do it next. We only have 2 coaches that are not level 2 certified, and we're going to get those this year.
Yeah, I want to keep going, man. I like I said, level 3, and me and Wes were joking about it. I was like, all right, I'll see you on my level 3 then. He's like, it's just a test, but I'm gonna be there with the sign holding it up outside the window.
Don't wait till the last minute like I did, man. It's a little nerve wracking.
Yeah, man.
There is a level 4.
Yep.
The level 4, however, is.
It sounds like it's on maybe the wall.
It's on the ropes.
Yeah.
It's on the ropes. It's an intense program. You have to travel somewhere, and then you run a full class, and they
give you the programming.
And what they'll do is they'll send someone. They'll either you travel someplace or they send someone to you. I think Wes just did one for someone. He came out and did one for, because it's funny you say that, Wes Pike, because I saw him in someone's feed. He had come out to test them for their level 4. And they watch and they evaluate you.
So did they change? They changed that? Because when I was looking into the 4, it was like you had like most of the level 4s were done up in Washington,
right?
Like you had to go to a box and it was like, hey, here's the programming. Go at it.
Well, I saw that Wes had gone to someone's gym to evaluate someone. Oh, it was the guy Brian at CrossFit Midstate.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not sure.
Did they do it at his affiliate?
Well, Wes was there at his affiliate. So it might be that they're sending the trainers to the.
I like the idea of being out of your element, though.
So do I.
Like going to a random affiliate that you can, teach new people that you have no rapport with. Like, how is that process going?
It is
to develop that rapport.
Yeah, and it is on the ropes. They're not. CrossFit's not convinced yet that it's the level 4 won't disappear. Like,
it may go through a different variation.
Well, it just in terms of. I think they have to look at it through the lens of profitability now. It's a different CrossFit world. Yes, it's important. Yeah, and people can criticize all they want. Profitability is important now because of who's running, who owns the company. It's not that it wasn't important before. I don't want to mince words here. It is. They look at every single thing within CrossFit in terms of its return on the investment that they have in it, and that's the lens they look through. And that has substantial benefits for all of us as affiliate owners, but it also has some downsides, this being one of them. They don't know if they want to make the investment to promote and expand it and make it available and encourage more people to attend, because it's not a significant revenue driver. I think it'll always be there, but I think it's going to be just harder and harder to get access to get it.
And it's also like, what do you get out of it? Like, that's still not really super clear as far as like going from the level 3 to the level 4. Like, yeah, you've gone through the scrutiny of being on stage with, Flowmaster that breaks you apart. But outside of that, like, what else? Like, as far as like, you get the level 4 behind your name, but what else?
Yeah. Level 2, we know that it improves coaching.
Yes.
Level 3, we know that not only have you accomplished level 2 and you're a good coach, but now you know all the terminology and the knowledge,
the really deep stuff, because it goes into a lot of like the health aspects, right? Like special populations,
nutrition, and
when do you refer out? Like just like you were doing like an ASM test or something like that.
So we talked about your certification. When did you get your when did you affiliate officially with CrossFit?
5 weeks ago.
Hey!
Wow. 5 weeks ago.
Nice.
So, we were kind of on the fence at first as when they raised the price, and it was kind of like, it's not that we didn't want to do it. It was like, can we afford to do this? Because we just opened up our place. So we opened up our place 5 weeks ago. We became affiliate, I think, actually 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
So officially got the keys and got set up 5 weeks ago.
How long have you been gym owners?
5 weeks.
So gym owners 5 weeks too?
Wow. 5 weeks. 5 weeks. So
man.
I've always leased space in running programs out of other gyms or out of my garage, but we've had our own place for 5 weeks.
And that's scary as fuck.
Yeah.
Sorry. It is. It's like, cause we did it more. You're like ripping the Band-Aid off. Diablo did more
jumping right into that cold plunge.
So my partner and I that started it back in the day, we both had jobs and we kind of did it part-time. We just eased our way into it with a park and then a small garage type facility.
Mm-hmm.
And we still kept our jobs for a number of years before we finally in 2009, one of us went full time, and then I went full time in 2016. But coming back to you and your wife, why'd you decide to go? Well, let me ask you this: how many members did you open the doors with?
We opened the doors with, I think, 102 members, and we currently have like 127.
Really?
So we've added in 5 weeks. We've added about 22 people.
Really?
And that's because you've had like a program. You've been coaching people. You've got clients and members already ahead of time.
So I've been doing strength and conditioning and like sports specific.
Got it.
Endurance stuff. So I've always kind of had, members. But when we were kind of in between our place we had last time and now, it got kind of shaky. We were in our garage for 6 weeks. Thank God everybody still paid their memberships, even though they didn't come, or if they didn't come. We only lost maybe 2 people, but there were people that were kind of already like separated from the community before. They were probably on their way out anyway.
Right. Yeah.
We didn't lose anybody. Everybody stuck with us. Everybody trusted us. We stayed in contact with everybody. We have a full gym built out in our garage. That's how I started, 2021. So we have a full gym built out. We had all of our equipment. Our front yard is actually padded up and all matted down.
Nice.
To work out outside.
That's
too.
awesome.
And
Your front yard?
Front yard.
That's awesome.
And so we
how many neighbors did you get into it?
Right now, I think we've got 4 neighbors. Two are actually full-time members now and come out to the gym.
That's awesome.
We still have a couple that come by the house every now and again. Like, hey,
speaking of nicknames,
that's awesome.
Speaking of nicknames that you don't know about, it always makes me wonder what nicknames my neighbors have for me.
Right, right.
I can only imagine what nicknames the neighbors have for you.
Same.
Dude, running down the street with the weight vest on, or carrying a
sandbag.
ball or a sandbag with you, pushing a sled down the street for no reason.
And my wife does that. She'll do this. I won't do it. I kind of just like I don't want to. My Yvonne, no problem, man.
With the sled
going up and down the street, with the pole. She don't care.
Dude, you got to do it when you got to do it, right?
Yeah.
Especially with being so busy. It's like we both wanted to build something out so that we always had something for ourselves, but also like the time. You can't buy back your time. It takes you 30 minutes to get to the gym, especially if you have the kids. That's 45 minutes.
Yeah.
You got to pack everybody out. Where if we're at home, I can lock the gate. I have the garage open. Kids can play in the front yard. I know they're not going to get hurt, and then I'm in the garage, or I can bring stuff out into the yard and I can work out in the yard while they're outside playing. So we try to make it a little bit easier on ourselves so we don't have any excuses. So it's been working out. But we got our deal, we got our keys, and we moved in with about 102 members, and then I think we're at about 127 now. Haven't started marketing yet. Everything's just kind of been word of mouth. We just got our all of our website and stuff, started redoing that and rebranding because we did the CrossFit first. First we were MABA Lab high performance training. Now we're CrossFit MABA Lab. Couldn't keep the high performance training in it, but so we rebranded. So now we got to rebrand all that, and we've got to make everything brand new again. But it's exciting. It's like starting over new.
That could be fun stuff too.
Yeah, the hardest part is getting people getting people to stop thinking with a strength and conditioning kind of lenient mindset to this is CrossFit and this is what we're doing now.
I was going to ask you that because you said you were doing a lot of sports specific with people. Like how was that transition? Like were they accepting with the concept of constantly varied?
We've always kind of done a form of CrossFit. Basically, we were doing CrossFit. We just weren't doing gymnastics.
Got it.
We were doing like strict pull-ups, kipping pull-ups, stuff like that. But like the handstand walks, the wall walks, we were kind of keeping out. That was just kind of something I did on my own. And a couple of people would join me here and there. that came from CrossFit boxes that were training with me. But for the most part, it's CrossFit. You know, we're running functional movements, running, skiing, biking, rowing, walking lunges, all the stuff CrossFitters do. But we just weren't branded as CrossFit and weren't officially a CrossFit box.
Yeah.
But making the transition was, so our Saturday classes used to just be straight endurance. So it was almost like a mock high rocks race almost. So we would do just like a long, like 45 to 90 minute workout where it was just like pushing, pulling, running, rowing. So just constantly on the move. So getting people to kind of to go from that state of mind of like, I came here to sweat for an hour and a half to, I'm going to teach you how to wall walk for 15 minutes. I'm going to critique you. And then we're going to do a wall walk, 10-to-1 ladder, wall walk and double unders. So like, but yeah, where's the running and the, all the
I need more.
Yeah. But like I said, we give people so much of variety during the week that they're starting to catch on. You tell them like, listen, like you don't have to train that way. You're still getting all the benefits of training during the week. Just now it's more specific. And now I'm coaching you more because I'm critiquing everything you're doing.
You're now moving better because you're practicing versus just doing more.
And then when they start to see the benefits of that, they're like, oh, you're right. Yeah. And then I can still go for my run on the weekend with my dogs.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So it's not much different. It's just now we're a little bit more focused.
Couple takeaways from that whole discussion. One is, you know, if you're thinking about starting a gym, pay attention to how Derek did it and then how they decided to make the leap into CrossFit. One of the things that CrossFit did recently, they raised the cost of entry to $4,500. So it's $4,500 plus there's the $1,000 application fee. So it's really $5,500 for an affiliate. Part of the reason why they're doing that, one is obviously they're trying to increase profitability for the company. But the second reason why they're doing it is to make sure that that they're capturing people that have very good intent to be in this for all the right reasons and long term. And a larger capital commitment is usually directly correlated with a desire and ability to run an operation. So the more cautious, the more likely people are to be successful at running one. But he built a kind of a foundation from which to operate, which is similar to what we did. We built a small foundation before we took the leap. Yeah. Albeit the cost of entry was much lower, $500 for us for the CrossFit affiliate fee. But all of the other costs, like the cost of rent and equipment and all that shit, that
adds up.
it's the same essentially with inflation. Dude. Actually, might be a little bit more now. Maybe a little bit more now with inflation. Although there's more material, there's more stuff,
more
choices, more availability. Well, there's more content. Equipment. No, there's more equipment.
Yeah. Gotta make good friends with Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
That's how I met Craig.
It really is. You troll Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist. And then you know my new one is now, Derek, I don't know if you've heard this, is I go to Nextdoor.
Yeah, Nextdoor is good.
Yeah, really. You troll Nextdoor. And so we've got two $750, at least $750 shipping, $1,000 reverse hypers.
Oh, nice.
The top of the line Rogue.
And what about the squat?
Oh yeah, and the belt squat
machine.
Yeah, 3 pieces of equipment by as an affiliate owner you do not need. Don't buy these. These are in an open gym area.
Very expensive as far as real estate and space.
But I got those at like 25% of their face value. And they're literally brand new.
Yeah.
So and those are Nextdoor. Nextdoor people are people that just like that bought it at one time and like, I got to get this out,
right?
And they don't want to go to Facebook because they're a little nervous, and they definitely won't go to Craigslist.
A lot of people bought stuff during COVID, man.
That's right.
And now they're just getting rid of it.
Yeah.
Like $500 rowers and
just collecting clothes. And
good affiliate owners will all. And we're almost 20 years into affiliate ownership, and I'm still trolling Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist and Nextdoor.
I mean, that's where you found that sauna the first time, right?
Yeah, that's our first sauna.
Have you always been in this building?
We've been in this building since 2009. We expanded. We started with 4,000 square feet and grew to 12,000 square feet. So we kept taking bays as they came available. Nice. But before that, we were in 1,000 square foot garage that we called it the Shed, and it literally was a mechanics garage off of Main Street in Walnut Creek.
Nice.
So, but anyway, pay attention to what Derek said about starting that. I think that's all that was super like that. I couldn't prescribe a better way to do it. Than how you did it. Kind of built up a foundation and then you got in, and then making the trend. Here's the other thing I took away from your discussion, because this is what we went through too. And it's interesting that even, 15 years later, he's going through it, is the re-education of the customer base.
Yeah.
Our customers that come in today, I don't think about it as much, because when they come, by the time they get to us, I feel like they've done a little bit of research into CrossFit and they know this is what they want to do. But it's interesting that yours are coming in, but you had people that were doing strength and conditioning training and they're coming in like, okay, we have people say the same thing. Well, I need to sweat for an hour.
Yeah.
And a lot of CrossFit affiliates, and we still have it. We have a fit class, we call it, which is basically CrossFit light, where we try and indoctrinate them into CrossFit without them knowing it's CrossFit.
Yeah.
But it is still something that is, conventional wisdom still is that you have to work out for an hour, 5 days a week.
Yeah.
And it's got to be steady, constant state, even zone 2 training.
Yeah.
And people are uncomfortable. And then the weight and here's the even harder. I don't know. You tell me which one's harder to convert is the weightlifters that, want to lift weights in time. They feel like they're not going to get stronger. They're going to get skinny doing CrossFit.
Yeah.
So which one's tougher? The cardio guy it's not getting enough
That's a good question.
time, or is it the weightlifter that's not getting strong enough? Which one's?
I feel like for me, it's more so the weightlifter that's afraid to lose their strength. But I give myself as the example, like, dude, I've added so much strength onto everything. And I still run the same speed. Like, but now I can walk on my hands.
Yeah.
Now I can.
You've expanded your toolbox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like every one of my lifts that I had before I started CrossFit, I've PR'd 5 or 6 times since. Like my deadlift probably added like over 200 pounds in the last 2.5 years. My squat, but most of all, it's like my form, my range of motion, my mobility. I'm like, I feel like I'm 12 years old again. And the biggest thing for me when I got into it was, so my wife used to do CrossFit and back in the day, and she was telling me, you should go and try CrossFit. I'm like, at the time I was super big into like endurance stuff. So I was doing like Spartan races and triathlons and stuff. So I'm like, I don't want to put on any weight. I don't want to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm not going to be able to move.
Yeah.
She's like, that's not how you're going to look. Not how you're going to weightlifting does not do that to you. Like, I'm like, well, I can't even do a muscle up. And she's like, that's not what CrossFit is. She's like, just go find a place and go, just try it. Like she tried that for like 1.5 years. And finally I went and walked into a CrossFit box. And my first day, I couldn't even put my hands over my head. I remember we were doing strict press. And I was like,
just missing the rack position altogether.
I had no idea what I was doing. And I couldn't even get my arm over my head. And I always remember I had this nagging, like achiness in my left lat. And when I would put my elbows here, instead of going straight up, it would pull out. Yeah. And I never knew what it was, but every time I would go to the pool to start swimming, it would nag at me for like the first 15 minutes. And I didn't know what it was. I just thought it was, hey, it's just achy. I just need to get blood flow in it. And the coach was like, no, you have just lack of mobility. You have some knots probably in your lat that you need to foam roll. Like, here, try this foam roller, try this, grab a PVC pipe, just hold it over your head and sit in the squat and just hold it for 10 seconds and then stand up and then do it again. And then over time, it's like, now I can, 235 over my head and like no pain. I can move my arm up and down. I can stand on my hands and no pain anywhere. I'm like, that's the biggest thing for me that changed everything on me. I'm like, I got more flexible and better range of motion.
Yeah. I think that's the thing that strength athletes, we'll talk about those first, strength athletes gain first is they learn really efficient movement patterns,
functional movement,
because the more efficient you are, the less energy is wasted.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. So that energy all goes into lift. And so you learn really good functional movement patterns that help improve your lifts. Then you learn mobility then you get mobility, right, and flexibility, and that improves positioning. So that makes you stronger as well. So now you've got more efficient movement patterns, and then you learn muscle recruitment. And the muscle recruitment comes from working out at intensity. Because there comes a point where you're just completely exhausted, and the only way you're going to get that barbell to your shoulders or that barbell overhead or that pull up is really recruiting all of your muscle groups. And once you learn muscle recruitment combined with the flexibility and mobility, and man, it's just like your numbers go up. Amy Halprin here, who's an Olympic lifter, your competitive Olympic lifter, and our coach, has included CrossFit in her training because she's seeing her weights go up
due to
all of her lifts,
due
to the intensity that she's putting forth in the Metcons. And it's really wild.
There's also that adaptation that happens between your ears, right? Like in your head, like being able to go into that harder, darker place. I mean, you think about getting underneath, somebody like Amy, who's already got such a high lift, right? In comparison to body weight and whatever, the mental capacity to get underneath something heavier, like that requires intensity.
Yeah. That's
just like the belief in yourself.
Yeah.
I've been to a dark place. I can go there again.
Our endurance athletes that came in and wanted more endurance realized that the strength training helps them minimize injuries or eliminate injuries or recover from injuries. And they also find the same things. I didn't get any slower. Matter of fact, I got faster.
That's what happened to me. Like it's the reason why I believe in it so much is because I've seen what it did for me personally. And that's why I'm like, dude, like I love it. Like there's nothing else that I want to coach anymore. Like I just want to get the best that I can at possibly doing what I'm doing. Like this is perfect.
It's hard to describe the neuroendocrine response, the hormones that get released as a result of the intensity and the functional compound movements that CrossFit does. It's like,
certain time domains that we work in.
I'm sure there's studies on all of it.
WOD Science has done plenty of them.
WOD Science. If you follow WOD Science on Instagram, it's an amazing data that they have. A lot of it's just related to CrossFit. But then there's the neuromuscular response as well, right? So you're learning to recruit more muscles, and then you become a more efficient runner. Your strides a little bit better.
Mechanics get better.
You got more muscle mass, so that over the length of a race, like you got less muscle breaking down because you got more of it. All of those things,
everything.
Breathing patterns, right?
Big part,
and it's all relative.
Yeah,
it's all relative.
Jamie's got a really good point. Jamie made a really good point, though. The adaptation that takes place between the years, and this is what we find with our teen athletes, is they learn how to suffer. And David Goggins, if you've followed him or read any of his work, he talks about this: is the ability to push through intensity levels. Swimmers especially do really well with CrossFit. Right, because swimming usually very short time domains, but the difference between first and second, or being on the podium and not being on the podium, is often right here. Like the ability to push through while you're not breathing. You get your head down in the water and like, okay, I'm gonna be okay. And guess what? It really is. It always does surprise. Still to this day, will surprise me when I'm just complete. And you guys know this. You stood over a bar. You're just completely exhausted. Could be a 135 power clean, but you've done 10 of them. You've done a whole bunch of rowing, and then running or anything else you've done with, and you're exhausted. You're standing, you're like, and your body says no, and then you go pick it up and it lands like perfectly right in your shoulders. You're like, son of a bitch, I could do it.
It's your brain playing games with you.
It's your brain saying no.
Mind game.
And learning that to trust your physiology. Is a very difficult thing for especially younger athletes, and they grow into it. There's some people that are natural, right? That have that killer instinct. So it's again, we can extol the virtues of CrossFit all day long. And I'm glad to see that you're on board with with us as an affiliate. And I think it's going to be awesome for you. What are you're in right now? How many square feet are you in now?
We're in 2,100 square feet. So we still have to knock down a wall, and we're going to build an office. So I think we'll be left over with like 1,800 square feet. Or 18 to 1,700 square feet after the wall's built, waiting on the plans and everything to get done. So just kind of at the permitting process.
Are you going through a permitting process? God.
Greg's got some stories for that.
I bet you do.
Good luck. Good luck, man. You're in Concord, though.
Not
Pleasant. Not Pleasant Hill.
and every small business, and especially in California. So I got to go to Wadapalooza, and I met affiliate owners from around the world. And I went to this one dinner, and there's one guy from France, guy from Ireland, and then there's another one from California. But we were all, and then an East Coast guy. So we're all sitting around and we're talking about the challenges that we face. And California has a lot. there's just a lot of administration, and then there's local governments that that want to charge you for everything. And it is challenging as a business owner. There's a lot to keep up with. And they change the laws every year, and they add new requirements, especially for employees. And some of these things are good for the employees and beneficial, but man, there's a lot of challenges. And the city governments don't make it super easy, and they're not super eager to get it done really fast.
Yeah.
And again, they're making you jump through hoops.
Right.
So nice job on doing that. But I will tell you this, that one thing I learned when I was in Wadapalooza talking to these guys, it is hard here in California. It's harder than most other states, almost all other states. But it's not as hard as France. When I listened to, I felt better after talking to those guys in France, and the stuff that they have to do, the regulations in those countries and some of these other countries in order to open up a business. It's brutal. And what they have to do for the employees, and the fees and the costs, like, take everything that we pay in California in terms of fees and operational costs that, that are not related to, directly related to business, and like multiply it times 5. And that's what they've got to deal with. It's really, really challenging.
Always be worse, right?
Yeah. It can always be worse.
Be worse, man.
And so we get through it, but congratulations on that. And so 2,000 square feet, a rule of thumb that we've always used is you divide it by 20, and that'll tell you how many members you can support. Because the one problem with CrossFit affiliates, by and large, compared to like a Globo gym, we don't have a lot of members. And the problem is that our members come. Like they come every day. Like they come a lot.
Different business model. We want them here versus empty gyms to sell memberships.
We do. We want them here, so they come a lot, and then they fill up classes, and you got a 7-foot barbell. That that's limiting your space.
Right.
But I'm feeling like if you 1900, you can probably get to, you're going to be reaching capacities. You get to like 150 to 180 is what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I've worked with a lot less space, so I've gotten kind of crafty.
Yeah, I was going to say working out of the garage.
CrossFit affiliate owners are really good at that.
Yeah, I've gotten really crafty.
Get creative.
Figuring stuff out. It is hard some hours. So our busiest hours right now are 5 a.m., 9 a.m., and 6 p.m.
Yep.
And every class is going to be over 14 people. Every day.
Wow.
Every other class is just kind of like, 6 here, 8 there, 9 here. But those 3 hours are like prime hours. And it's like,
that's great.
All right, so we got to move everything to the back of the gym. We're only going to have this like last night. So last night we did Fight Gone Bad.
Oh, yeah.
So we have 6 rowers. We leaned our 6 rowers up. The barbell was right to the left side in a straight line for everybody. So it was rower, barbell, rower.
Oh, so all
the way down. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
All the way down. And then you had your ball up against the wall. The box was up against the front of the rower, and then you would transfer obviously from the ball, barbell, box, barbell, rower, finish on the rower, and then rest. It was tight, but we made it work.
Did you do it in heats, or did you do it?
So we did 2 heats per class, so everybody partnered up. First group.
Did you have the partner count for them?
Yep.
Yeah.
I got it on video. I'll show you guys.
Love it.
So yeah, it's like, and then you look on video, and it's like it looks like the open.
Yeah,
because it's like everybody's just. Boom, boom, boom. Everybody's
that's cool.
That's awesome.
Isn't that fun when you get that going?
That's a great workout too, to kind of like prep for the open too, because it's like, okay, you got somebody counting for you, and you get some practice, and just cheering, or at least being supportive.
Yeah, you do it as the challenge to kind of like get them in the vibe of like, this is what the open's going to be like without telling them.
Yeah.
So then when they say, well, I can't do that. Well, you just did Fight Gone Bad.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, don't think of it as just the open.
That's awesome.
You're challenging yourself. Yeah. But
that is cool.
You figure out how to make it work.
Yeah.
So Greg Glassman said, someone asked him, I remember being at a conference with him in 2000, I want to say 2009 in Austin, Texas. And one of the affiliate owners asked in the crowd, so, hey, like, when do we expand? When do I take it to the next level? And he said, when you get a lot of complaints. You want a lot of complaints, not just one complaint, because there's always one person that's going to complain, but you want a lot of complaints. When everybody's complaining, that's when you expand. And that's kind of what we did when it was getting chaotic.
We were
doing closed classes, half indoors, half outdoors stuff. We were a nuisance to our neighbors, and we finally just kind of said, okay, let's do this.
Good.
How long's your lease?
3 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're hoping we're hoping to be at capacity by then, and hey, we gotta reevaluate to see if we want to be here.
At your current rate of expansion of 20% in 3 months, I think you're
on track.
One of the things I like to tell affiliate owners, the first 100's the hardest.
Yeah, that's what you told me. The first time I
told
you.
And the next 100 is a little bit easier because you got 100 people telling your story now.
Yeah.
And then they bring their family and friends, and
there's your marketing right there, word of mouth.
Yeah.
That's freaking cool, man. And by the way, for people that don't know, what is tell everyone what MABA stands for.
Make America Buff Again. So it's funny how that started out. So as I said, I was doing like a lot of endurance stuff before, and you go to the front of the line. I was always at the front of the race because I'm like, I need to get ahead out of these guys beforehand. So, and I want to show them, I'm here. So I would always sit up at the front. I always have my shirt off, and like all the guys, they'd take like the pictures beforehand. You see all these little skinny guys, and then just one built guy in the middle, and like everybody's looking like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
And then you take off, and you're the same speed, and they're like why are you still here after 2 miles? What the hell? Like the big guys usually fall off, and they'd be like, man, like I passed you in the race, and you were right next to me, like telling all these stories, and they're like, I had no idea like you could be like that and move like that, and I'm like, shit, bro. You can be buff and move too. And they'd be like, yeah, man. I'm like, yeah, make America buff again.
Yeah.
And just kind of like, just kept saying it. And
awesome.
It just kind of stuck. And it was just something I always like hashtag on like pictures and stuff. And then when it came time to, open up my own place, I was like, well, it's something that I really want to do to kind of like throw myself out there. And I was like, man, make a buff. Like it kind of tells a little bit of my personality.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
like,
so good.
Let's just do MABA Lab. And I was like, let's throw that together. So it's funny. The colors I use, it's just kind of like off my history, I used to be addicted to drugs and alcohol about 2008 to the end of 2012. So December 2012 is when I quit painkillers altogether, cold turkey.
Good for you, man.
Alcohol a little bit after, but the black represents the darkness that I once was in. I grew up doing construction with my dad from a young age, just like on the weekends, going to work with dad. And it was fun, but as you get older, you're like, it's not something I want to do, and my dad was so good at his craft and what he did that people would always say, hell, it's almost time to give your sons the business. And I'm always like, no, I don't want this damn business. I don't like nothing against construction workers, but I'm like, no, I want to be a pro football player. Like I was put on this earth to play football because at the time, I was a football player. And they would always say like, oh, you're going to be a good construction worker one day, a good boss, a good contractor. And the contractors, they wear the neon vest.
Okay.
So depression, the neon vest, the lab that's on the bottom of our logo. It looks like the inside of like the metal lining of a bed of a truck.
Yeah.
The first gym I ever worked at, shout out Anthony Trucks, one of my mentors. He owned a gym called Trucks Training, ex-NFL player. He's a public speaker now, and he owned a couple of gyms back in the day. He gave me my first shot at coaching at like last minute, like literally with like 5 minutes before the class. But his last name Trucks, at his front desk, he had that lining wrapped around his front desk to represent his last name. So I always liked that tough look. So I was like, it looks tough on the lab. So MABA Lab, we're creating new humans in the lab, man.
Yeah.
So I threw that on there, and just to kind of show like my past, and then this is my present now. But you look at that logo every day, and it just kind of like made it. Like,
yeah.
I made my dream come true, and I didn't end up being the construction worker that everybody thought I was going to be. I beat depression. And I'm representing my past and getting it going.
That's awesome, man.
Damn,
everything I have,
that's an awesome story.
It goes into something, It's like I felt like I ended up here by accident, but it was just years and years and years of hard work and working on myself. And I've worked so hard over the last 11 years, and like I said, I finally made it to the mountain peak, but now there's another mountain to climb, man. Like this isn't the riding off into the sunset. This is the story beginning now.
Yeah.
Everything else is behind you. And now it's a new purpose. I got 2 young boys, a 3-year-old and an 18-month-old. I got my wife, we just bought a house, and 3 years ago we bought a house, and like we're just starting too. Like it's crazy, man, how things work.
Yeah.
Right.
That's awesome, man.
That's outstanding.
Thank you.
if you've gotten through all of that in the last 5 years, the next 5 years are going to be so much easier for you. It's like you did the hardest part of the chipper right up front, right? you're in the 30, 20, 10s. You got through the 50 and 40. You got through the 50 and 40 already, brother. That's awesome.
It's a crazy journey, man.
Yeah.
You think about it, and it's like I developed the addiction to painkillers playing football. So college years, my last year, I played 2 years at LMC right here in Pittsburgh. Kind of started popping painkillers towards the end of that, and it's like I have an addictive personality. So like as soon as I started taking those, it was like it became my life.
Yeah. Hey, newsflash, by the way, so do like probably 80% of our members. And people in this room. I mean, it is kind of, and we've got this healthy addiction now.
Yeah, exactly. You just kind of switch focuses. So kind of did that and got really out of shape, put on a lot of weight, got a scholarship to Western Washington University, and pretty much pissed it away because I was, drunk or on drugs the entire time, and went up there out of shape and kind of got pushed aside. And for the first time away from my family, like everything just kind of closed in, and got anxiety. And I didn't have any drive to do anything. I didn't want to be there anymore. And it was like, for the first time in your life, you go from not being like a superstar to like, man, like I don't even feel wanted here, because you're of no use to a university or a football team or any team if you're not the Clydesdale that they thought you were going to be. It's kind of like, oh, just go over there with the backups and like we'll put you in on special teams. And the coaches did try to work with me, but like I said, I was so gone into my addiction. It was like I wasn't learning the place. Like they would put me in, I had no idea what I was doing. So after my junior year, so I was up there for a year. They canceled the football program. Just out of nowhere. We had just won a Rotary Bowl. So we had won a bowl game the first time that the school had a winning season in like 8 years. And they brought us all into a room, and we came back for the first semester, and they said, hey, we're canceling the football program. So
damn,
you guys are welcome to stay here and go to school, or you guys can transfer out. Let us know what we can do for you. They closed the door behind them, and all the players were kind of just like left to like kind of fend for ourselves.
Yeah.
For me though, it was kind of a relief, right? Because I'm like, now I have a reason I can go home and not be ashamed of myself, right?
Oh, interesting.
And it's like, all right, well, I had other schools come in to possibly make offers and everything, and they offered, hey, you can come here with us. We just need to see your transcripts. And it's like I wasn't going to class anymore, so I was failing, and I'm like, I think I'm done. I'm gonna go home. So went home and packed up all my stuff, left, went home, and kind of like tried to start a life. I wanted to be a cop or like something that like had meaning, but I couldn't pass the test to even get my foot in the door. So it was like you kind of go through this long period of depression of like without football, I'm nothing, like I don't have anything to call anymore. Like I left here thinking I was going to go to the NFL, but now I'm back here like working construction, crawling under houses, doing stuff I don't want to do, and kind of just breaks you down, right? And you start hiding away in the room by yourself and like don't want to go out, put on weight, don't even know it, and went through a long period, probably about a 5-year period of just like darkness, And one day woke up, was like, man, I just kind of had enough of this. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to do more stuff, and I want to chase my dreams. I want to figure it out. Got really into MMA, and I quit painkillers cold turkey and stopped drinking, and went into a jiu-jitsu academy. Met my instructor, Ricardo Barros, out of Brentwood, and immediately the first day it was like any type of, what do you call it? Any type of ego I had from being a bigger, stronger guy
just got demolished.
Got my ass kicked for first guy I ever sparred with. He was probably about 175 pounds. He got on my back. He got on my back immediately, like without even trying, and just pretty much could have did whatever he wanted with me. I just remember the first time in my life feeling so like helpless. I'm like, oh my God, Like, what's this guy doing? Get this little monkey off my damn back. Like, hey, and then just all of a sudden he's got a hold of your shirt and he's choking you. And like, I just remember thinking like, oh my God, like he's like, hey, just
I picked the wrong day to quit painkillers. Oh my God.
And he was like, I was like, how do I get like you? And he was just like, just keep showing up.
Yeah.
Like a black belt or is a white belt that never stopped coming. So
wow.
I kind of took that ball running, and I had to get over the ego though, because we're so used to dealing with strength and like being the aggressor. He's like, don't be the aggressor. Like, you want to be like Jason, bro. Like Jason, you quiet and then you come out when it's ready. Like, like you're too tense. Relax. Then you explode. Use your strength when you need it, and kind of like Karate Kid, man. So it's funny. I ended up training in the martial arts program, doing jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, and stuff like that, no-gi. For about 5 years with them, and I worked all the way up to my purple belt, was teaching classes and stuff like that. But I also started going into my buddy's gym and working out and hitting the bags and just doing my own stuff. Like I would just put my headphones on. I was 300 pounds at the time. So for me, it was like headphones on. I don't want anybody to know I'm here. I'm going to hide in the back and I'm just going to kind of work out and like do my thing. And then just kind of hang out. I never wanted to go home because I knew that when I go home, like I'm alone. Yeah. So it was like, I would just stay there and just work out all day for like 4 hours. I probably did that for like a year. And so I would stay there and work out. Then I would go to the not the CrossFit gym, sorry, the Jiu-Jitsu Academy, do Jiu-Jitsu, like do Muay Thai, stuff like that. Then I'd go home. I did that every day for probably a year. And then on Sundays, I'd go for like a long run or go find another gym in the area that was open, go do open mat, stuff like that. But it was a long process, man. And like I said, I feel like the old me died with the addict, and then the new me was created by martial arts and gave me a whole different perspective on life. It was like I came in as this guy who knew nothing, but then, you know, a couple of years later, I'm the guy that's teaching the new guys that are coming in, and like I took that same mindset into jiu-jitsu or into CrossFit. So I remember showing up to the gym. So what was it? I think it was the end of 2020. I walked into CrossFit Overwatch with Jimmy Greniger, and I tried out a class, and it's funny, after class, he's like, how'd you like it? I'm like, it's great. I want to come back in and work out again. I was like, so how long do you think I have until I can become a games athlete?
That's awesome.
And he looked at me and started laughing, and he was like, how old are you? And I was like, 35. He's like, all right, you're probably never going to make it there. But
there's this age group.
But there's this age group. 5 or 6 years with training hard and being coachable. Like, I think you can be a master's athlete. And I'm like, all right, I'll see you tomorrow. Came back the next day. And I kept that in my mindset of like, don't always have to be first. Yeah, doesn't matter if you do 10 snatches. If you do them ugly, it doesn't matter. So I always kind of kept that in the back of my mind. I was like, always work on the stuff you suck at. Like, don't do the Metcon today. Go do wall walks. Like, 10 minutes of wall walk practice. Who cares about not who cares, but don't worry about always being first or being the big dog in the gym. Put the guard down and go do handstand push-ups. Go do this. Go do that. There's always stuff you can work on. So that's kind of like how I grew myself as a CrossFit athlete, and just from being there alone though, and like being a part of a community where it was like you were accepted. You walk in the first day and it's like, I don't have a jump rope, I don't have this, I don't have that, and it's like, hey, I got a jump rope, hey, I got this, hey, try this chalk, let me this is how you chalk your bar up. Like, you're okay, well, hey, hold your bar like this, like, it's like everybody's so helpful and wants to help you, wants to help you get through the workout. And it's like, then everybody grinds together, everybody falls on the floor together. And it's like it's more than just a gym. It's like you're automatically a part of a family of people who have the same, most of them have the same backstory as you, but who have the same goals and aspirations as you, but they just, they have different paths of their profession, but everybody's there for a common goal. And that's what brings everybody together. It's amazing. Like I said, like I walked in, seeing Craig off Facebook, trying to buy some equipment, and we sat and talked for a couple hours, and it was like, man, I feel like I've known you my entire life. Like, CrossFit brought us together, Same thing. I went and bought some equipment from a gym in a CrossFit box in Alameda. Same thing. If I seen the lady on the street, we'd probably walk right past each other. Yeah. But since, CrossFit brought us together. It was like we sat there and talked for 2 hours. Like I went over there to buy some shrimp trawlers for my rigs, and she's like, "Oh, you should look at this. Like I set this up like this, and I did this, and wall walks right here, and like I did this. Like let me show you around my whole gym." And same thing. And it's like I'm the same way when people come to my gym. I'm like, hey, like this,
show
this,
off a little bit here.
Yeah, and like I said, it just brings us all together, man. We have one common goal, and if you bring in a good attitude, and you're a good person, you're accepted right away, man.
Yeah.
Like I tell people, I said, don't be afraid to let your guard down and come into a CrossFit box, because you're not going to find the same attitudes you see at 24 Hour Fitness. Like you're going to find people who care about you and want to see you do well, and who are really going to cheer for you. And we're not going to kick you off a bike because we want to talk on our cell phone and text. And they're like, yeah, but I see the games and like all these athletes, and I'm like, it's not what it is, dude. It's not what it is. Like
different.
Yeah, it's like nobody in our gym will ever get bullied by anybody, because we're all so close that none of us would stand for it. You know what I mean? I'm like, there's no person in here that's ever going to down talk you or put their hands on you or put you down, because we've all been there. Like I was the fat guy before. I was 300 pounds in the back of the gym hiding, and people tried to come and talk to me all the time. Like I would kind of just hide in the corner, but it's like I understand how that feels. That's why I can relate to everybody. And like people, oh, well, you're an athlete and you got all this muscle. What do you have to worry about? I'm like, dude, you have no idea.
Yeah,
I can talk to you for the next 5 hours.
I know.
Where do you want to start?
Yeah.
Where do you want to start, man?
And when people come in here, I tell them that it's, you're going to walk in here, see a bunch of fit people. That's because it works.
Exactly.
And they come and they keep coming back and coming back and coming back. And this is going to be a year from now, you're going to be in there and someone's going to walk in this gym to check it out. And they're going to be like, oh, I can't be like you, this person. And that's going to be you they're looking at, because you're going to be confident, you're going to be strong, you're going to be moving well, and you're going to be exemplifying everything that, that happens here in this gym.
Yeah.
What a great story. That really just kind of like sums it up. Do you find that people, when they come into your gym, that they get intimidated by the welcomeness of the gym? You know what I mean? Like sometimes I'll bring,
what are all these weirdos doing?
Yeah, I'll put people in for a tour, and as we're walking around, people know, because they're standing with me or they're standing with someone from one of my coaches or with one of the front desk people, and they know it's a new person. So they go, hey, how you doing? Hey, welcome. Glad you're here. And I think, man,
it's like walking right into a cult.
Yeah.
I think I break the ice right from the jump, because when they open the door, I immediately like run up like, what's up, man?
Yeah.
Like, oh, like, who the hell is this weirdo?
Yes.
Like,
you don't get that in any business.
Nowhere.
You don't get that in any business. It's one of the really cool things. And it's not that we're trying to recruit, and it's not that we're trying to, bring you in. It's that there's, for some reason, when you walk into this place, it kind of takes away those barriers, and it almost makes you more human.
Yeah.
And
because it constantly humbles you every day.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Every day we're being humbled.
Yeah.
Like I said, we did Fight Gone Band yesterday, and like I said, everybody left the gym like, oh my God. Like people are like, that's an 18-minute workout. What else are we going to do? This is what we're going to do.
And then after they're done, like, I am done.
Like after you explain them the stimulus and how they're like, listen, if you want to pick up a barbell after this, you didn't do it right.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, okay. So I'm like, remember that in your head. Yeah. Remember that this is only 18 minutes of your day, but it's going to be the worst 18 minutes of your day physically. And like, oh, I get it. It's
so true. It's so true.
The best workouts for me and for our members, the ones that are the worst at.
Yep. Right.
Those are the ones you learn the most from. Yeah. The ones that humble you the most.
Yeah.
The ones that don't look that hard on paper.
Yeah. Those are the ones, it's what Glassman said, we fail at the margins of our experience.
Yep.
And so the closer we get to that margin, the more we start to learn.
Yeah. For me, it's like anytime I see gymnastics on anything, I'm like, all right, it's going to be a fun day.
Yeah.
Have fun sucking.
Yeah.
Do the best you can.
Oh my God.
Man, that's awesome.
So just kind of, we're moving into the last thing. We're headed into the Open. It starts in a couple of weeks. What's really cool within the CrossFit community, they're on pace for like a record Open this year for maybe the best Open attendance ever, participation ever in the history of CrossFit,
which is huge after the last few years.
Yeah. And so I think their numbers right now are matching like 2018, which is, I think, the best year they ever had, which is 400,000. So that's the number trying. I think they're trying to get above 400,000 last year. Nice. I think they got above 300. They got 320, which was a great year, especially coming off pandemic. So that's this. So in terms of the state of the Open and the state of CrossFit and the CrossFit Games, that's pretty outstanding. CrossFit Games sold out. Oh, by the way, I heard in Castro's presentation yesterday that the vendor area at the CrossFit Games this year is open to the public.
Oh, really? So you don't have to have like a
you don't even have to
special pass to get in.
which I think is huge. So you think about the Super Bowl this last weekend. Super Bowl, obviously you need a ticket to get in, but to go to all the NFL experience functions and all that stuff, it's just anybody can go into that, which is good. So if and especially if you're a vendor, and you're going,
you got way more eyes coming at you.
You got way more people coming.
Yeah.
Which would be a fun thing to do too. Like it might even, I think it'll be a lot of fun for people to go down there, to and hang out. And Castro said that experience is going to be outstanding this year.
That's cool.
So they'll probably have places you can go and sit, watch. Like they always have.
Might have like a viewing station.
Yeah, viewing station.
It's in Texas this year, right?
Yeah. But I could also see, just going there and then going back to your hotel and watching it with your buddies in the hotel on the, on the internet or however.
Stream it wherever.
Yeah, stream it wherever. Which would be fun to do too, and not even have to go into the stadium. So I think that's a really good, cool thing. I haven't heard anything about the ticket sales from the semifinals yet. Nothing there. The affiliate council, I just wanted to kind of close up there because I've had 3 calls and 1 meeting. The 1 meeting was in person at Wadapalooza. The best thing I took from that was I got to sit at a dinner table with Jada Kuntz, who's the new guy that's running affiliates. That he kind of got attacked a little bit online.
He took a nice little
and he's a good sport about it. Because he had said, at one point in time at some conference a few years ago that CrossFit's dangerous, and obviously he's learned from that. His L1 experience.
That was like 5 years ago when he said that.
Yeah,
and that was pre any real CrossFit.
And I blame, and I think CrossFit would take the blame for this. How they introduced him was not the best way. Letting him do a self-recorded video and putting it out there to the community, because then they gave the Hillers the opportunity to just rip it apart,
just open them up for scrutiny.
Matt Souza, I talked to Matt Souza on the phone. He goes, just think if they had instead taken him right away and put him in his L1. And knowing, and then video record that experience and have it kind of be the enlightening of like you had with your L2 and I had with my L2, like, oh shit, man, this is unbelievable. And let him have that experience and then introduce him that way would have been a way better move. Oh yeah. I mean, it's 2020 hindsight, but but anyway, so at the affiliate council, the best thing the biggest thing I took is I got to know him. He's a really smart guy, very smart guy. And they do have a lot planned this year. There's a ton of advertising and marketing that they're going to do for CrossFit to drive people to CrossFit. I feel like I'm starting to see it and feel it here at Diablo. The amount of social media,
their social media is kicked up a lot.
Make sure that you have your members following like CrossFit training. They should be following CrossFit. They should be following CrossFit training right now. Someone asked me, what's the difference between the two in terms of their content? And there's not much difference. And that was seen as kind of a criticism, but I'm like, I don't know that it is necessarily needs to be a criticism. Like really what you want is eyeballs, and you want people watching the content, and the content on CrossFit training is really good. They're really emotional stories, powerful stories, transformational stories. Same with CrossFit. CrossFit will take the best of those and put that on theirs. And even CrossFit Games, following CrossFit Games is kind of cool too. But there's content every day now on social media,
multiple times a day.
I
feel like I
can't even keep up. And a lot of it is success stories, transformation stories, training tips, holding the standard, featuring their coaches, their flow masters. So really good stuff there that I think is starting to drive attention. And Don said they're going to spend millions of dollars in marketing CrossFit this year, and that's in his ultimate goal is to get 30 million CrossFitters, and the bulk of those people are going to go to our affiliates. So if I was an affiliate owner this year, now's the time over the next few months to freshen up your gym, make sure your equipment's good, repaint, those kinds of things.
Leverage some of the content that they're putting out already.
Some of the content. That's right. There's a ton of content available to use.
Especially since you have access to it through the affiliate toolkit, right?
There's another, we do a ton. And there's another town hall coming at the end of this month. The last town hall was good. And the content was good. You can go online, you can rewatch it if you want. They talk about a lot of those things. There's more L1s available. There's more L2s available. They're going to make those more available. And then you've got your regional managers that are working their ass off, and they're doing all kinds of workshops. Katie Hogan, who's ours on the West Coast, just had a workshop yesterday, kind of like she calls it where all the affiliate owners get together. Basically, affiliate owners just come together and kind of talk about what their latest issues are and what their ideas are and those types of things. It's basically just a brain power session.
Yeah.
So
nice.
Tons of stuff available for affiliate owners, and we are having, the council does have an opportunity to have input in the direction we get asked. What do you think about? And we have input, and they've listened to our input, especially as it concerns marketing or affects the affiliates. And then they're going to, this year too, they're going to start reaching out to some of the this next month, over the next 2 months, they're going to start reaching out to affiliate owners, the OGs, the original affiliate owners. And I think there's something like 1,000 of them, like the first 1,000 affiliate owners, and doing group calls with management to give them an opportunity to hear what's going on and what the direction is.
That's really cool.
And the last part is the last thing I just wanted to kind of draw attention to before we close out is this stuff. There's lots of discussions about the owners of CrossFit, the private equity company, and I think it's important to know that their goals, even though they are related to the valuation of the company, they need the value of CrossFit to go up, because that's what they put their money in for, and they put it in as an investment. And you can blame whoever you want to blame for doing business with private equity, but the private equity company wants the value of CrossFit to go up. Now that is congruent with what we want, which is more people coming into CrossFit and the value of our affiliates going up. So those two are essentially kind of aligned. What's not aligned is if they decide to sell the company, and which is highly likely as a private equity company. They don't have long-term emotional ties to the business like I do to Diablo and like Derek does to MABA. Like there's not that big connection that's going to, I'm going to make sure it transitions to, so the legacy of Diablo continues. These guys are interested in putting it in hands of people that are going to run it well, but they're also interested in the multiple they're going to get on the business. That's going to happen. Could happen later this year. I don't think so. But it likely will happen next year or the year after. And that's okay. CrossFit will continue to be CrossFit. The methodology will continue to be the methodology. The standard will be the standard. Right? All of those things are in place, and we will still continue to do the miraculous work that we do with our community. We still are the most important people in the world because we are helping cure chronic disease.
100%.
Ending America's dependency upon pharma companies, and just making people overall healthier and better people overall. That will continue to be there no matter who owns it. What they decide to do with it, we can make those assessments and judgments later. But in the meantime, our goals are aligned with the people that own it, and they want to invest a lot of money, and obviously in driving more people to us the right way. So I'm down with that.
It's like no matter what, we're still showing up and putting our coaches' hats on. That'll never stop.
Yep, exactly.
That's exactly
we're
right.
Still going to treat it the same.
Exactly.
That's right.
Because we love what we do, right?
I had a long talk with a guy at Sisu CrossFit. He's been around 15 years up in Minnesota. He's got 3 locations. He said the same thing.
Yeah.
And the guy, he was a really tight ship, great website. But he's a strength and conditioning guy too. But he loves CrossFit. He goes, every day I'm going to, same thing's going to happen. Come in, I'm going to coach, I'm going to make people better.
Exactly.
And people will keep coming to me.
Yeah.
Right. No matter, and my customers don't know who owns CrossFit.
Right.
Our members don't know.
I think you own CrossFit.
A guy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, especially the new ones like that.
When did you invent this?
Yeah. It's so true.
Right.
And I think a lot of affiliate owners forget that exact thing right there. You're 100%.
That's a good point.
So we'll keep doing what we're doing. Anyway, Derek, listen, this has been a great conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you guys for having me.
Gave us a ton of sound bites. Your stories are amazing.
Yeah.
I literally could just shut Jamie and I out and just listen to you talk. It was really, really good. Very powerful, very motivational, and super impressed with what you've done. I literally don't have any doubts that you're going to be, one of the greatest affiliates in CrossFit community.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's good to have the support.
You've paid your dues, in a lot of different ways.
Sure.
So it's kind of awesome. I'm glad to know you. Derek, by the way, and MABA Lab is 9 miles away from Diablo. So he's just he's not too far away. So we will be getting together with he and his gym probably often.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Forward to it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
We'll see each other a lot.
Yeah. Right on, dude. All right. Well, thanks for being here.
Thank you guys, man. Appreciate it.
Till next time.
All right.